How you doing, guys? Gary from Qualified Sound here. I thought I'd put another video up on slapping. This one is basically a rhythmic idea. It's as simple as that. We'll try not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's really for those that have just figured out sort of how to do the slapping part of things, and it's a rhythmic idea to help extend the rhythm and to help think more like a drummer, and I'll show you a few examples of that in a minute. So look, let's without further ado get into it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so let's kick into it. Look, let's start really basic and let's step it up from there, okay? And the idea is first of all to be able to play rhythmic idea, doing one of two things, okay? That's being able to play a note and then mute it, stop it from playing, and then be able to play a mute note here as well. Okay, now those two things will allow you to do rhythmic ideas, okay? Okay, I mean that's a reasonably simple idea. Open, two mutes, open, and then you can put whatever you want at the turnaround at the end, which is what I did. You just have to get back to the two and the open, that's all. So that's a rhythmic idea that I'm talking about, and that will lead you into other things, okay? That will lead you into other things like this riff I'm about to play. Okay, so, excuse me, the rhythmic idea there is to obviously have some thumping thing going on, and we're just doing simple things like hammer on D to E, and then when I return, it's a hammer on from A to B and D to E again. Okay, that's used quite a lot, and we're just circling around the key of E, obviously. And the note of E especially. Now there are other rhythms that you can do. The rhythms that you develop on these between this hand and this hand become quite important. There are other more simple ones. Played at speed. Simple things like that, and then they can move into, say, the other riff that was played just before. Now I'll play those a bit slowly, so if you want to dissect them and try it out, no problem. So let's do that now, and by all means dissect it, change it up, do what you want with it, okay? But we'll play both riffs slowly right now. Now at speed, that's when it starts to sound interesting. And it's just hammer-ons. It's really not that difficult. But the rhythmic ideas behind these things are what makes a lot of riffs sound interesting, or at least when you go and you have to play a solo on stage and you're playing with a bunch of musicians and they say bass solo, and you're like, oh, okay. You can start off with a rhythmic idea, and then that will lead you into a bit more of an easier sort of intro into your own solo, because you can go, right, I'll start off with a reasonably easier rhythmic idea, and then once you get into the motions of playing your solo or playing whatever you're going to do at that time, it does become easier to play the entirety of the solo. Okay, so those are a couple of little things. But for those that are just starting out and you're just starting to slap, okay, because we're not worrying about plucking or popping today, if you're just starting out, those rhythmic ideas come in really, really handy. Okay, so I can't stress it enough that you can okay, and it's all this basically just muting and open notes, stopping them, and a couple of hammer-ons that you throw in wherever to get to whatever note you're going to do. It's nothing different than playing a bass line in and going to the next note by using your fingers. Same deal. So look, take away those few ideas and work with it, especially with a drum machine if you can, or a drummer is even better. Yeah, change it up, make it your own. Don't just copy stuff, just change it up a bit. I take other riffs that other people have done and change them up to suit my own needs, because we're all different, we all play differently. So by all means, become your own musician, and hope you do well. Thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, please press like. If you dislike it, you will give it a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. But thanks for tuning in anyway. Cheers.